In this next section, we're going to look at the types of laws, specifically here in the United States, and then we're going to look at laws that are used to protect intellectual property, things such as the copyright, the trademark, the patent, etc. The first type of law that we'll look at is called civil law. Civil law is also referred to as tort law. You should know that. Civil law wrongdoings against individuals or companies, and it results in some form of damage or loss. These types of issues are generally things along the lines of contract disputes and personal injury, things along these lines. The burden of proof is very low in this regard. In other words, compared to criminal law, which we'll look at momentarily, the burden of proof is much less here than in criminal law. Also, punishments are less severe. Punishments are almost always simply financial. There's a penalty or some other financial remuneration that's going to be required. No jail time involved and no death penalty involved with civil law. The next type of law we'll look at is criminal law. Now, criminal law is laws created by the government to protect the public. This is where the public is seen as the victim. This has a more stringent burden of proof required, and this can include not only financial penalty, but jail time or even a death penalty. The third type of law that we deal with here in the United States is administrative law. This is regulatory compliance type of issue. This is the Food and Drug Administration, OSHA, things along these lines. HIPAA, Sarbanes-Oxley, Gramm-Leach-Bliley, these are all administrative law. These are generally punished by a financial penalty or may even merit imprisonment in the more severe cases. Here are some examples of U.S. federal laws that address computer crimes. You should have a ballpark idea on these laws. Now we're going to look at laws protecting intellectual property. The first one we'll look at is called the trade secret. The trade secret is regarding a secret that provides competitive edge and be proprietary to a specific company and also be important for that company's survival. Additionally, the company that has the trade secret must adequately protect that trade secret. If you publish your trade secret, you can't sue somebody for stealing and using your trade secret. The next type of intellectual property that we have protective laws about are the copyright. A copyright protects the expression of an idea, but not the idea itself. Ideas can be patented, but the expression of the idea can be copyrighted. Now, where copyright helps us out in the information systems arena has largely to do with the copyright capability of source code, object code, and microcode. These are the programs, the scripts that are written that are the programs that we use on our computers. So what we find is we can now copyright the source code for our programs, and if somebody steals that program, what they've done is they violated copyright law, and we can now sue them for this copyright infringement. Two other types of intellectual property laws are the trademark. The trademark basically is the look and feel of a company. It's a symbol or letters or words, shapes that represent the company. This would be a trademark. And finally, we see the patent. The patent, again, is protection of an idea, and the idea must be novel and non-obvious. So this can be patented. You should have a ballpark idea of software licensing issues and the types of software licensing that is available, including the single-user, multi-user licenses, site licenses per server, per client computer license, number of concurrent connection licenses, and even floating licenses. Just have a ballpark idea on these. These are rather intuitive. You should know these three organizations that deal with software piracy: the Software Protection Association, the Business Software Alliance, and the Federation Against Software Theft. You should know these three names. Another law that helps protect against intellectual property violation or theft is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA. Now, the DMCA protects only copyrighted material that has had some form of securing mechanism imposed on that copyrighted material. Where this comes into play again in our information systems is, remember, we can now copyright our source code. And then when we compile the source code into an executable, this also encrypts that source code. This is a protective measure on that copyrighted material. The whole point of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act is to protect our compiled executables from being decompiled and then reverse engineered so that they're stolen by competitors.